Our first machine experiment is about network service status checker. Yan. So for the program specification natin, gagawa lang tayo ng simple Perl script. So ituturo ko sa inyo yung simple script gamit yung Perl, and then ano yung software na kailangan nating install. So pwede naman na mag-install ka ng Perl script, or pwede rin naman po, or per language rather, or pwede kang gumamit ng mga online simulators, meron naman. To check the status of a network service on a specified server, and then ilalag mo yung result to a file. Yun yung goal natin. Yung task nyo ngayon is to identify status of 20 network service and run using Perl script and tabulate the results. So ibibigay ko sa inyo yung script applicable for one network service. So syempre, i-edit ninyo yung script na ibibigay ko para makapag-test ka ng 20 network service, and then iti-table mo. Gagawa ka ng table ng results showing na nagawa mo yung 20 network service. Ito yung mga needed materials natin. Siyempre, kailangan mo ng computer with Perl installed. So in our case, we'll be using Strawberry Perl for Windows. Yun yung gagamitin po natin. And then access to a server with a network service running. Example, a web server. So hanap ka ng mga available na web server, kasi gagamitin lang naman natin yung links na yon to check kung naka-up yung server or not. So ito yung instructions that we needed to follow. Una, siguro wala ka pang Perl installed on your computer. So pwede mong i-download, install it from Strawberry Perl for Windows. So click mo lang to. Yan. Pag-click mo to, makikita natin, matik na lalabas dito, the Perl for MS Windows free of charge. So libre po ito. Then you have options. Yan, pwedeng mag-download ka dito ng MIS or ng zip. Ayan, so kiklik mo lang dito, and then pag kinilik mo yan, matik naman siyang magda-download ng kailangan mo na resource. So ganun lang po kadali. So ito yon, may step by step dito. And then kapag na-download mo na siya, ayan, i-open mo yung ating command prompt. So pwedeng dito ka mag-type ng command prompt, pwedeng gumamit ka ng WinR so that you could open the run dialog box, or and then type mo yung CMD para pumunta ka sa command prompt. So ang goal lang natin, pumunta ka dito sa command prompt like this. And then, ina-navigate mo na to the directory that you are trying to use. So medyo a little review lang uli kung paano po tayo gumamit ng mga DOS command, kasi hindi man tayo magli-Linux, so we'll be using DOS instead para mas simple sa side po natin. So gagamit ka ng CD command to navigate to the directory where your Perl script is saved. For example, if your script is saved in C script, so ito yung itatype mo. Yan. Pero sa case ko, nag-example po tayo. So nilagay ko sa C users, Rionel Caldo, and then Perl. So depende po yan kung anong gamit po natin. So sa case ko, C users, Rionel Caldo, and then nag-create ako ng folder na Perl. Tapos dito ko in-extract yung dinownload ko na portable 64-bit Strawberry Perl. Then yung zip file, nilagay ko pa rin po naman dito. Yan. So yun na. So nakita mo ditong screenshot, ito. Then in-highlight ko na yung gagamitin mo na batch file. So nakalagay dito, ito yon. Nakalagay naman dyan Windows batch file. So kiklik mo lang. So ito yung Windows batch file natin, yung portable shell. Alright, so step by step kong na-explain. Then, pag niran mo na yung portable shell na Windows batch file, so ito yung makikita mo, same na pinakita ko sa inyo kanina. So, welcome to Strawberry Perl Portable Edition, and then nakalagay yung URL, and then pwede mong basahin yung readme.txt for more information. So, ito yon, readme.txt. Yan, para magkaroon ka ng information kung paano ka magra-run sa command prompt window ng ating Perl script. Although, nilagay ko na rin naman po ito doon sa ating machine experiment. Pero again, for the benefit of the doubt, pwede mong basahin yung readme. Alright? And then, syempre, i-verify mo yung ating installation. So, you could type Perl, and then -B, and then press enter. And then, makikita mo dyan yung Perl version na ginagamit po natin para ma-check mo na install ba ng tama yung aking Perl script. So, kailangan muna mag-change ka ng directory ha. So, kailangan pumunta ka muna doon sa directory na kailangan mo. Again, yung command CD. Change the directory to the directory that you would like to go to. And then kapag andun ka na, since nakasave naman po doon yung ating language or yung Strawberry Pearl na gagamitin po natin, ito yung mag-a-appear. Yan, nakalagay dyan, this is Pearl 5 version 40. So, depende kung anong dinownload po natin na version. And then, ang next goal natin is to create a Perl script. If you haven't created a Perl script yet, at for sure wala pa kayo, pwede kang gumawa sa text editor like Notepad. Sa case kung ginagamit ko, Notepad++. So kung wala ka pang Notepad++, pwede kang mag-install or pwede naman na sa Notepad ka magawa. And then, merong sample script akong binigay dito to get you started. Ayan. So, yung file name nito ay hello_world.pl kasi PL po yung extension for the Perl script. So, I think nilagay ko rin naman yung dito. Ayan. So, machine 1. And then, hello world PL. So, kung nakreate mo na siya, pwede mo namang i-click drag yan dyan. Yan, mag-a-appear yan. Then again, pag sinave mo siya ha, take note, lalagyan mo dapat dito ng .pl para maging Perl source file po tayo. Yan, so medyo hindi pa tayo siguro familiar kung ano yung ginamit ko na script. Madaling tingnan yung print na ipiprint siya lang yung hello world kasi naman yung initial goal nung exercise na gagawin po natin. Para maintindihan natin ano po bang ibig sabihin ng first line, na user bin Perl. So, ang tawag doon, shebang line. So, it tells operating system which interpreter to use so that we could execute the script. In this case, it specifies the path to the Perl interpreter. On Unix-like systems like Linux and Mac OS, this line is essential for running the script directly from the command line. In our case, pwede naman na hindi ka gumamit nito kasi it will still work kasi we're using command prompt. Pero if you insist to use Linux or Mac OS, you'll be needing this shebang line. And then, ano ba yung strict na nakikita natin? Use strict and then semicolon. So, it enables strict mode in Perl. It also helps catch common programming errors by enforcing certain rules, such as requiring variable declarations before use. It makes your code more robust and easier to debug. So, since, again, basic pa lang yung script na gagawin po natin, pwede naman nawala din yung line 2. Pero, para maging practice mo na madalian ka for debugging purposes, gumamit ka na lang ng use strict. And then meron din tayong use warnings for the line 3. Basically, this line enables warnings in the Perl. It alerts you to potential issues in your code such as the use of uninitialized variables or deprecated features. It also helps you write cleaner and more reliable code. So again, important ito for you to trace. Baka mamaya meron kang mga variables na ginamit mo na hindi mo na initialize ng tama. Wala siyang initial value. So gumagamit din tayo ng use warnings. And then yung important na line ng ating code is the hello world. So basically, it prints the string hello world followed by a new line character similar to what we're using in C or C++ to the console. The print function is used to output text in the Perl. Then after nun, iraran mo na yung Perl script. Paano po natin siya iraran? Siyempre, kailangan pumunta ka dun sa directory kung saan mo siya sinave. Sa case ko, di ba, nasa C users, Lionel Caldo, sa loob ng Perl, and then nag-create ako ng machine experiments, ayan, and then another machine, and then andito Perl hello world.pl. So kapag niran mo siya, lalabas doon hello world. So isa ito sa screenshot na kailangan mong ilagay dun sa yung report for me to check na nagawa mo talaga yung exercise. There are several online simulators and compilers for you to run the Perl script. So ito yung mga few options that you could use. Pwede kang gumamit ng online GDB. Basically, this is an online IDE with a Perl compiler. Pwede kang mag-write, mag-compile, mag-run, and debug ng Perl scripts directly in your browser. So, click mo lang to. Ayan. Ang gagawin mo lang dyan, tatype mo lang dito. And then, iraran mo lang. Then, makikita mo na yung output dito sa right side. So, ganun kasimple lang. Ganon din yung ginagawa ng One Compiler. It's also a platform to write, run, and share Perl code online, supports the latest version of Perl, and provides a user-friendly interface. So meron din tayong JDoodle that offers also an online Perl compiler where you can write and execute Perl code, also supports other programming languages. So it's up to you. Pero I would suggest na itry pa rin natin na gumamit ng Strawberry Perl kasi may mga manipulations ka na gagawin within your computer. So better yet, instead of just using the online compiler, mag-install tayo ng Strawberry Perl. But again, we have options naman. using the online compiler. So these tools are convenient for you to test, for you to run Perl scripts without needing to install Perl on your local machine. Give them a try and see which one works best for you. Ngayon, yung part 2 natin is relative to the activity that you're gonna do. So, pinangalanan ko to na service_status.pl. So, again, nagawa ko na yung script nito. So, in my case, so I know, I simply have to click and drag yan para pumunta dito sa side ko. So, we have 21 lines. And then, for your convenience as well, in-explain ko yung line by line na nakikita po natin dito. So meron ulit tayo ditong shebang line and then meron tayong strict, may warnings po tayo. Then another LWP simple na explain natin later. Then we have here defining the server and service to check, checking the status of the service, getting the current timestamp, and logging the result to a file. So may nakalagay naman. So basically we're using hashtag for the comments as well para may idea tayo kung anong ginagawa ng ating script. So ito yung line by line explanation for us to understand. So again, meron tayong shebang line na na-explain ko na kanina. Meron din tayong strict na ginamit. Meron din tayong warnings, di ba? For line 4, meron tayong nakita na LWP double colon simple module that provides simple functions for fetching web pages. In this script, it is used to check the status of a web service. Kasi ang goal ng activity is i-check mo, 'di ba? Magpi-fetch ka ng mga web pages. So kailangan kang gumamit ng module na 'to. And then meron tayong line 6 to 8. Ang purpose lang nito is basically to define the variables. 'Di ba? We have $sign server. Ito yung URL ng server or the service that you would like to check. In this case, ang ginamit ko http://example.com. Ito yung i-update mo. 'Di ba? Sabi ko kailangan mong gumawa ng 20. So maghanap ka ng mga server na you could check whether naka-up yung server or not. And then yung log file po natin is the name of the log file where the results will be recorded. So meron tayong log file. This is very common activity ng isang sysad na may log file siyang mapuproduce and then doon makikita yung status. Yan. Yan. Halimbawa, kung naka-up ba, ayan, anong time naka-up ba yung http://example.com and so on. And the server na bago mong chinek. So ito yung kailangan mo rin na screenshot more than the code that you're gonna update. And then, sabi dito, sa lines 10 to 11 naman, dito na yung way for you to check the service status. Yung line na to simply gets the function from the LWP simple module so that you could fetch the content of the specified server. If the server responds, the status is set to up. Otherwise, it is set to down. Kasi di ba yung goal natin to check yung status no server, whether siya po ay naka-up or naka-down. Yung lines 13 to 14 naman, ang ginagawa nito is to get current timestamp. This line gets the current date and the time using the local time function and stores it in the $timestamp variable. So ito para makuha mo yung oras. Kaya dito kanina dun sa log file na notice mo na merong nakalagay na timestamp. And then yung line 16 to 19 naman, ang gagawin niya, ilalag niya yung result to a file. Kaya nagkaroon ako ng another text file na ang pangalan ay service_status na log file. So nakalagay dito na explanation, basically ino-open yung log file in the append mode. If the file cannot be opened, the script dies with an error message. And then yung print naman writes the timestamp, server URL, and also the status to the log file. And then basically, kailangan mong i-close ang file handle natin kaya merong close $FH. And then yung line 21 natin, simply print the result to the console. So this line prints the status of the service to the console. Yung script na ginawa po natin is basically to check the status of a specified service, logs the result to a file, and then prints the status to the console. It is a simple yet effective way so that we could monitor the availability of a network service. So in this example, kita nyo, niran ko yung Perl ko na service_status.pl. Pag niran mo siya, ito yung lalabas. Service http example.com is up. More than lumabas siya dun sa console, dun sa command prompt natin, nag-produce din siya dun sa ating log file. Nakalagay dito kung kailan ko siya chinek and then nakalagay yung status niya whether naka-up or naka-down. So yung experiment na ginawa natin simply demonstrates how to use Perl for a system and network administration task. By tweaking the script, you can learn how to monitor network services and automate administrative tasks. So yung results na kailangan mong ibigay sa akin, yung updated Perl script, and then the simulation script, the simulation result, along with the table na hinihingi ko dito, di ba? Ang gusto natin is mag-test ka ng 20 network service. Again ha, itutweak mo lang yung code. So obviously, yung itutweak mo lang naman dito is one line. Ito lang, server. Kung gusto mong palitan yung pangalan ng log file, pwede rin naman po. So yun yung mga screenshots mo sa akin more than the script. And then, yung ating template for our system and network administration one, ito po yon, yung template na machine yan. You'll be working by pair. So, ilalagay mo dito yung picture nung first member, then picture nung second member, then nakalagay dito yung group number po natin, member 1, member 2, then machine experiment number 1, yung title ng experiment. So, basically, network service status checker. Then, ilalagay mo dito, ano ba yung pinapagawa ko? Di ba, andito na yon, to yon, yung pinapagawa ko. So, no need to put the procedure and all. Yung part 2, dito man ilalagay yung results and discussion. So, meaning, yung hinihingi ko, di ba? Ito yon. Kailangan ko nung script, nung SIM results, and along with the table na hiningi ko for me to check kung na-test mo siya talaga for 20 network service. And then gawa ka ng paragraph that conclude the laboratory activity. Then yung file naming convention po natin, CEC1 underscore your group number underscore surname 1 underscore surname 2 underscore machine 1 save as PDF. Thank you very much.